Hello, my name is Leah Sugarman. Welcome to your upper body stretch. For this practice, just begin in a comfortable seated position. So feel free to grab anything that you want to sit on, like a pillow or a blanket, to let your legs relax even more so you can really focus on your upper body. So ground down into your seat and lift up tall through your spine. And then reach and extend your right arm out in line with your shoulder and relax your hand, let your wrist fall limp. Inhale as you stretch up through the crown of your head, and then exhale, slowly release your left ear toward your left shoulder. Now soften the muscles in your jaw, relax the whole right side of your neck and into your right shoulder. And you're welcome to stay like this, or you could experiment with lifting or lowering your right arm until you find the place that feels like the best stretch for you in this moment. And then when you find that place, just soften and relax into it. So you may wish to either soften your gaze or close your eyes. Bring some attention and awareness to your breath. And as you focus on your breath, allow it to soften your whole body so that you can release even further into the stretch. Inhale deeply. And on your next exhale, just relax the weight of your right arm down into your lap or toward the floor. Keep your head tilted toward the left, and again, just pause for a moment here. Observe any changes in sensation. And on your next breath, take your left hand to cradle your left cheek and use the strength of your arm to gently draw your head back up to neutral. Again, elongate and lengthen your spine, relax your shoulders away from your ears, and this time reach your left arm out in line with your shoulder. Relax your hand, let your wrist fall limp. As you inhale, lift up tall through the crown of your head, and then exhale, gently release your right ear toward your right shoulder. So once again, soften the muscles in your jaw, your neck, all the way across your whole face, and all the way down into your shoulder and through your arm. And you may wish to stay here like this, or maybe you want to play around with lifting or lowering your left arm to find wherever you feel the best stretch. And it might be different than the other side. That's totally fine. Just listen to your own body, find where you feel the best sensation. And when you find it, just pause and relax there. So you could relax your gaze, maybe just look down to the floor. If it feels comfortable, you could close your eyes. And bring your attention back to your breath as you really allow your body to soften and surrender into the stretch. Inhale deeply. And as you exhale, relax your left arm down. Keep your head tilted to the right and just observe any changes. On your next breath, draw your right hand to your right cheek and use the strength of your arm to help lift you up and back into a neutral position. So if you're sitting on anything, just move it over to the side now and roll forward onto all fours. So find yourself in a neutral tabletop position. Align your shoulders roughly over your wrists and your hips roughly over your knees. And as you inhale, relax the weight of your belly toward the floor. Draw your shoulder blades toward each other. Expand your heart forward and lift your chin from your chest. As you exhale, root firmly into your palms. Round your back body. Tuck your tailbone under. Hug your navel to your spine and draw your shoulder blades apart. Draw your chin into your chest. Inhale, relax your belly toward the floor. Expand and open your chest. Draw your shoulder blades together. Lift your heart, lift your chin. Exhale, curl and round in on yourself. Just continue to move like this. Open your chest as you inhale and contract and curl as you exhale. Find a steady rhythm in your movement and a steady rhythm in your breath. Take one more breath in each direction. And then on your next inhale, find your way back to a neutral spine. So stretch the crown of your head forward and lengthen your tailbone back behind you. From here, turn your fingers to face the outer edges of your mat. So turn your right fingers to the right and your left fingers to the left. And then just gently lean the weight of your whole body over toward the right. Keep the heels of your hands grounded and then lean the weight of your whole body over toward the left. And continue to lean your torso from side to side. And you're more than welcome to stay here like this. Or if it feels nice for you, if it feels appropriate, you could turn your fingers more forward toward the back of the mat. So maybe facing your fingers roughly toward your knees. And then you could play around with leaning your weight forward and back. All the while, keep the heels of your hands grounded to the floor. So wherever you're feeling the sensation, just imagine you could send your breath to that place. Use your breath to allow yourself to soften the musculature in your body so you can surrender perhaps a little bit further into the stretch. Now take one more breath wherever you are. And then slowly align your shoulders over your wrists and bring your hands to point back forward toward the top of your mat. And then from here, flip your left palm so that your palm faces toward the sky and release the back of your hand toward the floor. Ground the back of your hand down firmly. And then gently lift your left hand and plant your hand back down to the floor. Lift your right hand, turn your palm to face up, point your fingers towards your knees, and then release the back of your hand toward the mat. Slowly bring your right palm back down flat to the floor, point your fingers forward in front of you. And then shift your weight into your left hand so that you can sweep and extend your right arm up toward the sky. Spin your chest open. As you exhale, slide your right arm underneath your left. Reach your fingertips toward the left side of your mat and release your shoulder and your cheek to the floor. Now you're more than welcome to stay here like this, or if you'd like to, you could stretch your left arm up toward the sky and then bend your elbow and release your hand to rest over your lower back. or to catch a hold of your inner right thigh. Now spin your heart open toward the left and roll your left shoulder back as you spin your right lung more open to face the left side of your mat. Inhale deeply. If your left arm is behind you, exhale, slowly release it back down to the floor. Ground down against your left hand to rise back up into your neutral tabletop. This time, shift your weight into your right hand, sweep and extend your left arm up toward the sky, peel open your chest. And as you exhale, slide your left hand underneath your right arm. Weave your arm through to release your shoulder and your cheek to the floor. So again, you may wish to stay here, or you have the option to reach your right arm to the sky and bend your right elbow and either rest your hand onto your lower back or catch a hold of your inner left thigh. Roll your right shoulder open toward the sky and spin your left lung toward the right side of your mat. Relax the weight of your left shoulder firmly down into the floor. Inhale deeply. And if your right arm is behind you, exhale, slowly release it back down to the floor. Root firmly into your right hand to rise up back into your tabletop position. Now keep your hips stacked over your knees, and then slowly start to walk your hands forward in front of you. Continue to walk your hands forward as you melt the weight of your chest toward the floor and release either your chin or your forehead toward the mat. Soften into your shoulders. Ever so slightly draw the tips of your shoulder blades toward each other. And relax the weight of your chest forward and down. Notice where you feel sensation. And just visualize sending your breath to that space. Really deepen its rhythm. On your next breath, root firmly into your forearms to lift your head and chest. Lean your weight forward and lower your pelvis all the way down to the floor. So you find yourself on your forearms with your pelvis and your legs resting on the mat. And roll your shoulders down your back, hug your shoulder blades together, and expand your heart forward in front of you. Soften your shoulders away from your ears. Elongate and lengthen the crown of your head toward the sky. Now from here, take your right hand behind your left elbow, and then take your left hand in front of your right elbow. And slowly start to walk your hands apart from each other as far as you comfortably can, and melt the weight of your upper body down toward the floor. Rest your chin onto your arms, or you could just keep your head lifted. Find what feels appropriate for you. But soften the muscles in your upper back and let the weight of your legs and your whole belly become really heavy. On your next breath, gently lift the weight of your head. Lift the weight of your chest and slide your elbows back to a line underneath your shoulders. Bring your forearms parallel. Roll your shoulders back. Peel your heart open. Lift your chest. And then from here, take your left hand behind your right elbow. Take your right hand in front of your left elbow. And slowly start to walk your hands apart from each other once again. Melt the weight of your upper body down toward the floor. Rest your head into your arms or let it just lift and dangle. Soften the space between your shoulder blades. Soften your upper arms. And just let your weight surrender with gravity. Let gravity do the work to support your stretch. On your next breath, lift the weight of your head and chest. Slowly slide your arms back to their starting position. Align your elbows underneath your shoulders. Draw your forearms parallel. Roll your shoulders down your back. Hug your shoulder blades together and open your chest. Inhale deeply. And then as you exhale, release the weight of your full body down toward the floor. Bend your elbows and plant your hands underneath your shoulders. Now from here, reach your right arm out in line with your shoulder. Turn your palm to face down toward the floor. And you're welcome to keep your arms straight, or if you prefer, you could bend your elbow and create like a half cactus shape in your arm. So find which feels better for you. And ground down into your left hand to roll over onto your right shoulder and your right hip. Relax the weight of your head down toward the floor. Soften the weight of your legs and let the weight of your right shoulder melt into the floor. Now you're welcome to stay like this, or if you'd like to, you could bend your left knee and plant the sole of your left foot back behind your right knee. You could stay like this again, or maybe reach your left arm to the sky and then bend your elbow deeply and release your fingertips behind your heart. So find the variation of this stretch that feels best for you right now. And just allow your weight to soften into the opening. Maybe again bring your awareness back to your breath. And notice how when you deepen your breath, you can allow your musculature to soften a little bit more. Inhale deeply. And if your left arm is behind you, exhale, slowly release it back down to the floor. If your left leg is bent, gently stretch and extend it out long, and then very slowly and mindfully roll your weight back down onto your belly. Bend your right elbow, plant your right hand underneath your shoulder, and then stretch your left arm out in line with your shoulder. Again, your arm could be straight, turn your palm to face to the floor, or you could also bend your elbow and have your fingers just align over on top of your elbow to create like a cactus shape. So find the version that you like best and gently press against your right hand to roll over onto your left shoulder and your left hip. Relax the weight of your head toward the floor. Soften the weight of your left arm down into the mat. And you're more than welcome to stay here like this, or if you would like to, you could bend into your right knee and plant the sole of your right foot down to the floor behind your left knee. option to reach your right arm to the sky. And then bend your elbow deeply and release your fingertips behind your heart. So wherever you choose to be, allow yourself to soften into the release. And know that you might be in a different shape on this side than you were on the other, and that's totally fine. Just find the place on this side that feels best right now. And as you soften into the stretch, begin to deepen your breath so that your musculature can relax even further. Inhale deeply. And if your right arm is behind you, exhale to slowly release it back down to the floor. If your right leg is bent, stretch and straighten your leg now, and slowly, gently roll over onto your belly. Bend into your left elbow, plant your hand underneath your shoulder, and then ground down against your hands to rise up. Release your weight onto your heels, and you're welcome to stay seated on your heels if this is comfortable for you. If you don't like this position, find any comfortable position for your legs. Now from here, elongate and lengthen your spine, and then stretch and extend your right arm up toward the sky. Bend your elbow and walk your hand down your back, and then use your left hand to catch your right elbow and gently hug it in toward the midline of your body. Very gently press the weight of your head against your right arm. You're more than welcome to stay like this, or option to release your left arm and send it back behind you. Turn your palm to face the back of your mat, and then bend your left elbow deeply and slide your hand up your back. And you could either hold on to your shirt, or if it's available to you, you could interlace your fingers behind you. Now focus on creating length in your back body. So reach up tall through the crown of your head. Gently press your head against your right arm. And if your left arm is behind you, gently press your lower ribs back against it. Inhale deeply. And as you exhale, very slowly release and unwind. And then stretch your left arm to the sky. Bend your elbow deeply, walk your hand down your back, and use your right hand to catch your elbow, hug it in toward the center of your body, and then very mindfully, softly, press your head back against your left arm. So again, you may wish to stay like this, or maybe you'd like to reach your right arm back behind you. Turn your palm to face the back of your mat, and then bend your elbow deeply to either catch a hold of your shirt or interlace your fingers behind you. Keep the length you created in your spine, so press your head against your top arm, and if your right arm is behind you, press your ribs against that. Inhale deeply. And exhale to gently release. If you're not seated on your heels now, then come into this position to sit onto your heels. Your knees could be together or apart, but just fold the weight of your torso forward and down over your legs. Stretch your arms back behind you and soften the weight of your forehead toward the floor. Relax the weight of your shoulders forward and down toward the mat. Just feel the subtle rounding through your whole spine. So feel free to stay relaxing here in child's pose for as long as you would like. Thank you so much for joining. I'll see you next time.